the 5-Minute Podcast for Musicians. I'm Craig Kelley from GigFaster.com and also GigFaster TV on YouTube if you're watching there. Today we're going to look at 3 things to do before every gig right after this. Okay, welcome back. Today I want to get into 3 things you can do before every gig. While these aren't rocket science or like I didn't just make things up, sometimes the most common sense things are what people miss. And I know these 3 things would have helped me when I was playing a lot more gigs and trying to build a following and do all that stuff. So let's get right into them. 3 things to do before every gig. Number 1, prepare your set list in advance. Now, I know some people that actually do this. And if you're playing a lot, you might kind of use the same set list occasionally, or like kind of go off a core set list, and that's cool. But I know when we were playing a lot, I just didn't have time to actually come up with a set list. I'd try to do this, but I don't know, I kind of didn't do it, so then I'd do it on the fly in between sets, like before the first set, we'd set up, we'd do our sound check and all that, and then I'd rush to get the set list together. And, having a whole set list of your songs is great too, so you can use that, but, it wasn't fun for me, and it really, I should have been prepared before that. And then between sets, I'd be doing the same thing. Get your set list down before you get to the venue. You know where you're playing. Although the set, you might have to do some things on the fly. You might be like, hey, we're going to skip this song or play a different song in there. You have the core set list down. It's going to be so much better for you. And then what do you do between sets? You talk to the people who are at the club. I mean, those people, your audience, they're your potential customers, your potential fans. Maybe they are your fans, They want to talk to you. They want to, interact with you, because that's something they're going to go and talk to their friends about. So anyway, and they're also your potential customers. So they're going to buy your stuff, like they're going to support you. So, you want to interact with them and get to trust between each other, and they just want you to like you so that they'll buy your stuff. Number 2, have your merchandise in stock. Like you should definitely be taking merchandise to every show. So many bands forget this simple thing. That's what you're trying to do, make some money to support your music. You need to have some kind of merchandise available so that people can buy it, and they'll remember you next time. They might wear your shirt. It's kind of funny because I remember people telling me they'd run into me, and I've sold a lot of CDs at shows, and at one point they were in record stores when they used to have those things, and online. But it's funny whenever somebody told me, it's like, yeah, they were at some record store and they saw one of my CDs in the used pile. And I just thought that was kind of hilarious and great at the same time. But, if somebody's wearing your shirt, a lot of people, they wear your shirt, make your design cool so that people want to wear it. And, they'll wear it and you're getting free exposure. As a matter of fact, they might pay for that. We used to give shirts away at shows just to spread that, and then other people would want them because their buddy got one for free, but they really wanted one, so they just buy one, and they might buy CDs at the same time. Number 3, assess your gear. You don't want to get to a faraway gig and something goes wrong and you can't replace it, and then what? You're screwed. You can't, your show could be completely kaput. We drove hours to get to this one gig, and I mean this was before you could actually look at Google Satellite and like see what was in the area. There was like nothing around anywhere. It was like really kind of scary a little bit, but we got there and had an amp problem, and there were no backup amps. There were, we were not prepared, and luckily we were able to get it to work. Somebody had something that I could use, but that was totally unacceptable. Be prepared. Guitarists, you should have extra strings, maybe an extra guitar. You should have some kind of spare amp. You could have an amp, the amp simulator with cabinet simulation, amp modeler. That's what I was looking for, which is actually what I use 100% of the time now. I take an amp modeler as my main rig, and it sounds freaking amazing. And then I take another one. I take this as my backup, and I mean, like, this is little, but this is like an amp in a box. And my whole point is you need to be prepared. So just think about what could go wrong, like, the simple things and the big things. And obviously you can't take an extra PA or an extra, power amp or something if you're taking your own PA, but just be prepared for most of the things. There's an old saying that says luck favors the prepared. Luck favors the prepared. Like, somebody may appear so lucky, but maybe they were just prepared. Be so prepared that be like, man, that was lucky you brought that extra little amp thing because your amp went bad. It's like, was it, or was I just prepared? So, I'm Craig from GigFaster. Thanks for watching. And be sure, if you need gigs, opening, headlining gigs, you should use our in-house network at GigFaster. We have over 6,000 venues in there of all styles, and you can get opening acts and headlining acts. And it's your way to connect with the venues, and you can start for free. There's no obligation. You don't have to put your credit card in or anything, so make sure you check that out. And remember, you're never going to succeed unless you persist. If you persist, you will succeed.